Good morning. It's Saturday, the 21st of January, 2023. And one of the biggest news stories is egg smugglers. They are smuggling eggs into the United States because of the egg shortage due to the bird flu. Heavy fines. Apparently, uncooked eggs are prohibited to be brought into the United States from Mexico. Who knew? So yeah, that's the big problem with smuggling from Mexico into the United States. Eggs. I'm going to seem a little different today. Like most mornings, I'll start off. I'll say, "I'm tired. I haven't thought of anything to say." I do that shtick. It's because I'm usually tired and I can't think of anything to say. I did make some decisions yesterday about what I was going to do with the content, the YouTube channel going forward. Break it into 10-minute segments. I'm going to try. I really didn't. I had said I was going to start doing that this morning, and I may. I didn't have a plan. I didn't make myself four little bullet points of things to talk about. But the first one is pretty easy to come up with. I can just go on about the good morning, the intro. Geez, it begs a question. If I break this up into 4 segments, if I break it into 4 segments, but yes, I'm calling you but. If I break this into 4 segments, but I keep it as one contiguous reel and say, at the 20-minute mark, I start talking about this, at the 40-minute mark, blah, blah, blah. Do I have to do an intro every time if I don't intend on actually splitting it up into 4 mini videos? Because that just seems like a waste. Not that it'll get in the way of putting any more content, because obviously I just said I don't have any yet, but I guess it would make sense to have some kind of intro. Not that I have a big intro now. I just say hello. Just thinking again. Thinking of things to say. I am. I don't. Pardon me. I don't think I finished my thought earlier. It's going to seem a little different today because I am profoundly tired. It's Saturday. I have to work on Saturday. This Saturday. Today is Saturday, and I have to work. I don't mind that I have to work. I mean, nobody likes working on the weekend. But hey, look, I'm Shabansky. I have to get up even earlier when I have to go to work on a Saturday. The regular crowd rushes in. So it's stupid early right now. Oh, I'm afraid to press that button. Give me one moment. This video may end abruptly. Ugh. Ooh. That didn't. Ugh. All right. You're still there. Fantastic. So yeah, I have to get up earlier, and I have less time to get out of the house. So what that means is I almost never pack at lunch when I have to work on the weekend. This is actually very difficult to do. I may bag this video at some point because I was not joking when I said I am profoundly tired, and I can see that all of my focus is going to watching the pretty yellow and white lines on the road. But who knows? I'm a trooper. I'll probably muscle through. So just so you know, we have a pretty well thought out. I thought of it. We have a pretty well thought out system for the weekends. There's a bunch of us, supervisors, non-supervisors. Like I'm actually a non-supervisor at this point. Well, not today. Actually, today I've lied already. No, I'm a supervisor today, but during the week I have no direct reports. But anyway, there's a few of us, supervisors and non-supervisors, that are in a rotation that cover the weekends. So there's a integrated schedule. Some people like to work both days and get it out of the way. I think there's 7 of us in the rotation. So I created an interlaced schedule where people who want to work both days, they get to work both days, Saturday, Sunday. Some people get broken up. So I work Saturday, and about 4 weeks I'll work a Sunday. And it's a complex schedule because there's 7 people. So what ends up happening is a lot of people end up working a Saturday, then in 3 weeks they'll work a Sunday, then in 4 weeks they'll work a Saturday. Some people prefer it that way. I used to do Saturday, Sunday together, but somebody else wanted that while we still had 8 people, and I thought it was just easier for me to break it into the interlace where it's Saturday, a few weeks, then a Sunday, a few weeks, then a Saturday. So I did that, and it went back and forth, and just at this point it's easier to just leave it the way it is. I hate upsetting her. Like if I were to try to switch me back, then it switches somebody else, because then somebody else who's on a split gets a different split. I planned the year ahead. It was really bad near the end of really bad near the end of last year, because we kept losing people that were in the rotation. Last year? I don't know. It all blends together. Could have been a decade ago. Who knows? No, it was about a year ago. About a year ago. Oh shit, it was about a year ago. It wasn't last year. It was the end of last year. The end of last year. It was the end of the year before last year. Anyway, the people would go, and actually there's someone recently, I would have had to change the schedule. Someone who wasn't a supervisor but was in the rotation recently became a supervisor. So now they were in the rotation, and now they're still in the rotation. So nothing changed. Yay. Holy crap. I just filled 5 minutes with absolute blither. Look at me go. You've gained no knowledge. Like that was a lot of information that didn't pertain to you. And you're not the better for hearing it. I'm not the better for saying it. I actually feel worse now that I've explained it. I feel I didn't do a good job. Let me go back into the interlaced supervisor weekend schedule in more detail. And after that, I'll go into the intricacies of accounting or accountancy. Yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh wait, no, that's a Beatles song. Yesterday, when I was doing the afternoon video, I ran into several. I always think that's a car heading right towards me, and it's somebody's lights on their driveway. Yesterday, when I was driving home, I fall for it more when I'm extremely tired. When I was driving home yesterday, so I ran into a. I didn't run into. I got out. I woke up late. I got out of work late. Not very late, just a couple of minutes, and that generally makes the ride much longer. I think the day before yesterday, I ended up doing like talking to work on the phone, like completely ignoring you guys for a minute. Maybe it was. Yeah, it was definitely the day before yesterday. Yesterday's video got started, I guess, a little bit late, but got interrupted, I want to say like 4 or 5 times. For various reasons, like the phone. If I want to do these videos uninterrupted by phone calls, I would have to put it into airplane mode or something like that, because when the phone rings, it stops the video. And I got one of the interruptions was I got a phone call from one of my buddies. I enjoy talking to my buddies, so a good portion of the ride home was eaten up by oh please dear Lord be open, eaten up by a phone call with one of my buddies. But there was multiple, before he called, there was multiple interruptions. There was like a 9-second video, a few minute video, then there was like, I don't know, maybe 6 minutes, and then he called. It was hilarious. I can't imagine if they're open hide and seek right here.
Our store is closed. Please visit us again.
Oh, that's sad. So, Dunkin' Donuts is not open at 4:09 in the morning. Can you see the look of defeat? I could spin around the circle and go to that Wawa over there and get Wawa coffee, but I think more of myself than that. I should have. Didn't make lunch, blah, blah, blah. Airlist schedule. Oh, yesterday's video. It was kind of a bust. I did a short bit of video at the beginning, and like I said, after I was done my conversation with my buddy, not my viewer, my viewer's buddy and my buddy combined. We have a mutual friend. He knows who I'm talking about. So I ended up chatting with him on the phone. So there's, like I said, there's 2 videos from yesterday that have to be spliced together. Oddly, the other video, how am I going to know? I'm just going to assume. Nope, I can't assume. I have to look. Yep, it's great. I went too far. I couldn't see the light. So there are 2 videos from yesterday that have to be spliced together to make one video, or I could post them separately, but I don't know which one makes more sense. I mean, from a humor standpoint, it might look funny, the escalation, if the 3 of them are the way I think they are, because I end up doing the same intro twice, and you can see that I think it comes across that I'm progressively getting more agitated, because I have to remember what I said in the previous, like the information that I was sharing, like why I was wearing the sports ball regalia, and like I said, I did the daytime video, nighttime. The daytime video didn't finish posting until very late. Like sometimes I can get it to post while I'm still at work. Other times, it doesn't finish. Like it takes most of the day, and then when I get home, it takes a few hours. So I don't know what's causing that. When I got home, it always looked like it was going to be less than an hour, but the whole time it was saying less than an hour. It took hours, so I never got to the point where I could upload the other videos. In fact, I didn't even watch them. What I did do, why did I do that? I had to, oh, yeah, there's something about yesterday's video that I thought maybe I should, nothing bad, something more along the lines of intellectual property. I played part of yesterday's video for corporate, and they suggested that I not play that because it has to do with a story I started writing I wanted to write a book, very specific book, and like I have the outline, and I talk about it at length. Yes, I talk about it at length yesterday. Like the main first half of the story, I go into the detail. I mean, not the detail, the basic outline, what the story's about, explain the main character, and what the scenario is. Name the characters and stuff like that. And I guess the fear corporate has is someone's going to steal that from me. My thoughts on that are, yeah, that would absolutely suck. I agree. I don't. The genre is pretty saturated, so even if I were to, like, you know, get a team together, write the book, get the reference material or reference people hired that I need to fix some little fiddly bits about the story, I don't know that it would be well received. It's I don't doubt it would be a good book, but I just don't see I don't see myself becoming a famous author off of this book. It's a zombie story, just from a slightly different angle, and I'm pretty sure at this point, this is something I've had for years. When I had time in the past, I would flesh it out a little more, but I've never had the time to just sit down and finish the book. So anyway, her fear is someone's going to steal it. My fear is someone's going to steal it, but am I ever going to finish it? And if somebody steals it, finishes it, makes a book out of it, well, I'm going to read it. So I'm not giving anyone permission. I don't want you to steal my idea. I would like to. I wish I had the time to finish it myself. But at the moment I don't. So anyway, I didn't take it down yet. I may. It's at the end of the video yesterday, like very close to the end. So save you some time. Just scroll until you hear me talking about zombies and stuff like that. Not you, the general public. You, my viewer. So there's a coffee machine at work, 17. Like 2 minutes left in the first segment. I can't imagine a 30-second comment about the coffee machine at work is upworthy content, but I will hold off for about a minute or so that I can make that part of 2. What I'll do in the meantime, with the remaining little over a minute, is verbally tread water, as I often do, because I really want to do a disembarkation. Although I said I'm probably not going to try today, I actually am. I want to make sure that the 20-minute sections are standalone sections. So I'm just going to take the remaining time, which is still just over a minute. Maybe I don't understand when it's 17 minutes and some odd seconds, that's a lot further away from 20 minutes than I was previously led to believe. Because although I keep saying it's just over a minute, it is still just over a minute until it's 20 minutes. It's just hitting 19 minutes right now. So now it's less than a minute. So if you like countdowns, you're gonna love this content right here that you're in the middle of, because all I'm talking about is how much time there is until I get to the point where I don't have anything to talk about. I could do the reverse. Once we hit the 20-minute mark, it's like, it's now been 20 minutes. We're 4 seconds. No, I probably will do that. I'm admitting it's a bad idea, and I feel bad for people who are watching this and are about to watch the next segment. All right, so it's less than half a minute to the 20-minute mark, so I'm just going to sit in silence and think about what I've done, and then I'll start up again in a few moments. morning. This is part 2 of Saturday. It's probably one contiguous video when it gets posted to YouTube. I haven't spent the time yet, because I'm still making the video, to separate it into 4 chunks, but I know in all likelihood I am going to upload it as a single piece, and if I'm going to break it into 4 parts, I'm going to do it in YouTube Studio. Later on, I'll use DaVinci Resolve. I actually want to get some practice with that. I think I explained earlier, my daughter originally wanted to do a YouTube channel a while ago, but she was too nervous to be in front of the camera. The reason I'm doing a YouTube channel is it's more of a joke than anything else. I've explained in multiple videos, I think on both channels, that my buddy asked me to. We had a conversation about it yesterday. He's a little under the weather. We had a conversation about it yesterday, and I may have misunderstood what he was saying when he asked me to start a channel. Either way, it's hilarious, because now I've got 2 channels, nearly an hour and a half, nearly 2.5 hours. Actually, it's over 2.5 hours of content a day of just me talking with no plan. Up to this point, I have had no plan most of the time. One day I came to, let's call this work. One day I came to work with a bullet list, and it was actually much more comfortable because I had a predestined path that I was going to follow, and it was easy to keep my mind on track. I wasn't as comfortable back then as I am now. Like every day that I do this, I feel more comfortable. There's still that level of nervousness. I've explained I'm a high-functioning sociopath. No, I've explained I have social anxiety, and even though there's no one here and I'm just talking to the air, I mean, it's being recorded and I know it's going to be watched, and like, besides the social anxiety, I'm very self-conscious, so it's it's uncomfortable, but it's like everything, you don't get better, you just get that you get better at faking it. So yeah, I'm still self-conscious. I'm still nervous that people might see this, because I'm recording it and putting it on a global format. Oh my God, someone might see it. Yeah, that's part of the gag. But as I said, I was talking to my friend who told me to do this, or asked me, or mentioned it in passing, whatever the actual proper vernacular is, and he explained that I may have misunderstood what he was saying, because we talked about, he did talk about like doing this in general, and I still think when I say the word wrong, I think a collab would be nice. Like if we could do dueling channels, like or even have like, we're joking around about doing reaction videos. It's hard to pull the logistics of something like that together. I mean, we could do it remotely. It's not as hard as I say it is. It's we just need to make time. The problem is we're both adults. We both have, jobs, responsibilities, families. I try to get family as far down on the list as possible, because I'm sure that'll irritate someone. But we have, and responsibilities and families, they kind of fall into the same category. But anyway, so it's difficult to put together a solid time when we're both free to do something like that, especially when it's not, the initial is just to do it. Like, there's no intention of getting income. It might not even necessarily be fun. We're doing it just to do it. Like, we talked about the channel, and what I'm doing at this point, maybe subconsciously, is I'm trying to build up momentum. Like, I went from 0 to like just ridiculous amounts of I want to use the word content, but that's misleading. But hours of video in no time flat. Like just every day, I was doing a little over an hour, and now for the past week, I've been doing 2 videos a day. Not every day, just the days that I drive to work. we're still searching for a title, grasping at straws. I definitely don't want it to be titled. I guess it could be in the short term, because what's happening is it's a drive. So it could be related to driving to and from work, or at least the ride in could be titled something about driving to work, the ride back, blah blah blah. But I'd like something a little more. I don't know if the word I'm looking for is esoteric, but something that doesn't really necessarily pigeonhole you into a specific type of content or a specific format. I'd like it to be ambiguous and open to interpretation based on whatever we're doing at the time, or possibly something that reflects me but is not my name. He did explain, my viewer did explain what he meant by starting a channel, and he probably did it very well. And not being negative here, that's an inside joke with my viewer, but I either didn't retain what he said, or I am literally too tired right now for my brain to work. It could be a little of both. I hate to be a cookie cutter version of a human, but I absolutely need some coffee right now to get my my gray matter juices flowing. And I don't see any coffee in my immediate future. I mean, within an hour I could probably be at work, and there is coffee available there, but they have a it's not a Keurig, it's a proprietary system that I guess they sell to like it's an industrial Keurig. It's called a I'm gonna sneeze. It's called a Bodecker, but it's just it takes a little. I scared the guy in front of me. I sneezed so hard, and my eye nearly popped out. Bodecker. It takes little K-Cups, they're destroying the planet. I have no idea. Like, it's wasteful. Like, all that plastic and tin foil. And I have a machine at home that takes K-Cups, but it also takes that little, someone developed a reusable K-Cup. It's like a stainless steel mesh contraption that you pour your grounds into, you snap it closed, you put it in the machine. I don't know if that is sized and shaped for the machine at work. I don't believe it is. Like I said, it's a proprietary machine. I don't think they're standard sized K-Cups. I'll check. I'll either bring a spent cup home and compare it to the one from my machine, or I'll do the other thing where I'll take the thing in my house and take it into work. Wow, that really didn't need to be said out loud. You get it. You get it. So, anyway, there's that coffee, which is it's subpar. I mean, like, it's one of my least favorite coffees, but it does have the advantage when you're at work of being available. It's there, and you can like have coffee on demand. It's 35 cents. It's 45 cents a cup, which isn't a bad price. But if you have the card for the, there's a place that services, a vending company that services the place. So if you have a member's card, you get a 10-cent discount. So it's like 35 cents for a cup of coffee, which still not a bad deal. When they first installed it, it was 25 cents a cup. It was 35 with the 10-cent discount. It was 25. Like, and if you're not a coffee snob, that's a fantastic deal. Even if you're a coffee snob, it's a great deal. It's like caffeine on demand. They have decaf, and there are people at work that drink decaf, and those people are monsters. So if I were to design, the matrix that we're all living in, one of the things I would definitely have designed by 2023 is these lights. Like they're doing all kinds of good things with stoplights, but I have not seen a place that has intelligent stoplights. Like it amazes me that they don't have sensors in these lights. Like right now it's 4:30 in the morning and I'm driving along. This isn't negative, by the way. No, I'm driving along and there's red lights, but there's no other traffic. Like there's no side streets. I mean, the light is already there. You could definitely set up sensors, meaning that it could look down it could look the crossway, or if it's a T-junction, it could look that way and it could see me. If it detects motion coming, like large enough motion, you have to turn on the cat highway so it doesn't pick up every possum that's crossing the road. But you could set it so that the timing changes, meaning that if it senses traffic approaching, it turns green. Not that I'm in a hurry. This is like strictly from a green perspective. Like if the light is green for people that are coming, I have no faith in humanity. I don't think people are going to drive at reasonable rates. Like, so there's that issue there. But what happens is, especially at times like this, you're burning less gas because you're not stopping. You're using your brakes less, which is less wear and tear on the car, less pollution. There's a lot of benefits to if you're the only car on the road. There should be no reason why you should be hitting a bunch of green lights. If there's no cross traffic, you should be able to just cruise along at a legal pace and not have to keep putting your brakes on because you're coming up to a red light. I know in a lot of places the lights are planned out for traffic, meaning that they'll they anticipate traffic patterns, or they, like down a main street, they're timed in such a way that traffic will keep, at least in one direction, will get a good path. But I really think here in the distant future we should take it to the next level and actually have sensors on these lights so that you keep traffic moving even better. It's there's no downside to it. There's always a human downside where people are people, and they may get used to the fact that it's always a green light, so they'll just be zooming along at 80 miles an hour. It's like, don't worry, it's going to turn green, and then fiery death and babies flying out of windows. But that's the price you pay for living in a modern society. Modern society, traffic, thinking about Elon Musk and the tunnel idea. Like I'm not going to shoot it down or naysay it like a lot of people do. I have a hard time wrapping my head around it. Like I understood a lot of like what he's saying, the way he's thinking with we live in a 3D world and our transit system is two-dimensional. By making tunnels, we're making it more 3D. Like the Hyperloop, I never quite drank the Kool-Aid on that one. The engineering required to make something like that work, I don't think, no matter how far in the distant future we live. I mean, unless you're a really, really, really advanced civilization, meaning that you've taken nanotechnology to the nth degree, I can't see it being a good idea to do that, to make these super highway vacuum tunnels. The first part of it, like underground tunnels, that's tunnels. Tunnels are a good idea. It's taking it to that next level where it starts to get kind of science fiction-y, and I know all science fiction eventually becomes science fact, but too science fiction-y. It's like you stop at tunnels, and then of course once you stop at tunnels, I do have minor issues with the cost to manufacture these superhighways and the benefit. It's not a bad idea. I just think economically and as a realist, I don't think it would take off today's day and age. I know tunnels exist. It's not where I'm going with that. The massive underground network of tunnels that would be required to make this a feasible technology, I don't think makes any real sense in today's world. But I don't think it's a dumb idea. I think it's a good idea. I just don't think it can be economically accomplished today. Maybe next Thursday, but I never could get the hang of Thursdays. So I need new glasses. I got these glasses a couple years ago. Maybe a year ago, they sent me a reminder saying I need new glasses. And I do need new glasses. My prescription has changed. And I do not like these glasses. They're fine. I can't see, but they were fine when I got them. They did have an issue, and I never really brought it up to the doctor. And what I'm going to do the next time is different than what I did the last time, and I'll tell you what that is. So the last time I went to the doctor, I got two sets of glasses. I have a pair of safety glasses I keep in my work bag, prescription, and then I've got these. These are bifocals, but they're seamless bifocals into transitions. So like near vision is here, far vision is there. When you see me doing this, it's because I'm looking at my phone. But when you see me doing this, it's because I want to see my phone. I have to look under the glasses. The near vision part of the glasses no longer conforms to the shape of my eye. I need a new prescription. I need new glasses. I can't see. So my problem with these glasses, when they were good, was that the transition is a pain in the neck. There's a point where the glasses go from one prescription to the other prescription that is takes up some real estate. So unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm not extremely vain. But my next set of bifocals are going to be bifocals. I need that line. I know people don't like seeing the line in their glasses. I wear my safety glasses. It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I like the fact that I know exactly where to look when I need to see with the different prescription. They're obviously out of calibration as well, because they're basically the same prescription as these glasses. Not basically, they're the exact same prescription as these glasses, except they have the defined line where a bifocal normally does. These glasses have that transition, and it was a problem when I could see through them. Now that I can't see through them, it's a real pain in the neck, because I'm still in the habit of trying to look through the right prescription to see what I'm doing, but I'm doing it for naught because I can't actually see through the prescription. So like I end up anything like that, I have to take my glasses off to see what I'm looking at, like to know that I'm 18 minutes into the second portion, well, actually almost 19 minutes into the second portion. So with that being said, I'm going to slowly transition into silence and wait for it to be 40 minutes into the video. Wait a minute, 40 minutes? Did I end the first one early? I gotta think about that for a minute. I probably didn't. No, because they're 20-minute segments. 20 plus 20 is 40. I need coffee badly. See you in a couple seconds. This is part 3 of the drive-in on Saturday, January 21st, 2023. Living in the distant future, blah blah blah. If you're watching this video, shortly after it's aired, you realize that it's one long contiguous video, but I've intentionally tried to break it into individual segments, bite-sized, digestible. So bright. Bite-sized, digestible segments. I've lamented that I'm very tired because it's the weekend and I have to get up even earlier than I normally do in order to get to work and fire up the generators. So it's the content's not going to be any different. It's going to be vacuous. It's going to be devoid of any true things, except for maybe things for people to get upset about, like in the last segment. I know I'm going to catch grief about that. I'm probably just going to go out back and edit it out because I know what kind of world we live in today, and it's just going to be taken completely out of context. So that's unfortunate. There was a raccoon sleeping in the middle of the road. I had to avoid. Poor tired raccoon couldn't even make it all the way across the street. Tuckered out, that old fella. Didn't bring a lunch today, so I have to come up with a plan. Good plan. The plan is probably I'm going to eat junk food all day out of the vending machine. That's a bad plan. I said I had to come up with a good plan and immediately just fell into a bad plan. That's just bad planning. This is what I was talking about earlier in the video. If you've seen parts 1 and 2, about I'm at a major intersection. Like, there is line of sight for like nearly a mile in all directions. I'm the only car here now, and I've got a red light. It doesn't really seem to make sense. I won't belabor that point because I already talked about like smart lights and town planning and things like that. So I didn't really talk about town planning, but ever since I saw that episode of Seinfeld, Now I Want to Be a Town Planner, I originally wanted to be an architect. Actually took architecture very briefly while I was in high school, before I switched high schools. What does very briefly mean? I mean, you're in high school but that's a deer! A lot of animals, and I am overreacting to all of them. Again, I'm tired and twitchy. So we got that going on. I'm going to be leaving work today sometime after 2 o'clock. I start on the weekends. I start really early and I stay nearly a full day. My day ends normally around 3:30, but because I'm the only person in supervision, I have to make sure everyone gets out of the building, make sure everything's locked up, turned off, the whole nine. So I don't really end up getting out much earlier than a normal day, but it starts quite a bit earlier than a normal day starts. So like I said, I don't mind. I have work I have to catch up on. I could do it from home, but it's a really good excuse. Like, if it's the weekend and I'm home, I don't really want to work, but since it's my responsibility to cover this weekend and we're open, it makes it that much easier for me to do it. Like, I'll get into work, I'll have a cup of coffee, I'll make sure that everybody's set and ready to go, and then I'll just start knocking out the work uninterrupted by other office personnel. It's really rather nice. I'd almost be willing to pay them to let me come in, because I can really knuckle down on certain things. During the week it gets very hectic, and I was frustrated yesterday during the day because there was something my boss asked me to do, a very simple task that literally should have taken me 3 minutes, and it took me hours. I wasn't working on it for hours, but I literally kept getting interrupted every time I got into it, and it's with things that needed to be addressed. So it took me way too long to finally get it done and get to him. And I know he knows that it didn't take me that long to do it, but when someone asks you to do something simple and you come back hours later and say, here's that thing. Remember you asked me to fold this piece of paper in half? Thanks, Chris. Thank you for folding that piece of paper in half. We've evolved now. We're paperless. Sorry. That voice will probably get me in trouble too. I may only do an hour of this. I don't think I have it in me to do the last 20-minute segment. I didn't have it in me to start this video at all. I say that, it's clearly a lie because I started the video at all. I may even end this segment early. Like, I'm trying to be a kinder, gentler, lack of content creator, and like, now that I know that someone is actually trying to watch these, I feel bad and feel as though I should probably not two things: not be completely unprepared for every single video I do, and two, if I truly have nothing, maybe just end the video earlier rather than just visibly struggling, because I think some people have sympathetic, sympathetic yawning, sympathetic sadness, like you feel the emotions that another person's feeling, and if I appear to be struggling and floundering around, that can be viewed in a couple of ways. Like, you can be sympathetic to it. You can also like feel like, when someone's like being very cringy, you can feel that cringe, like Adam Sandler. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'll say it, he's a bad actor. I say that about a guy who's worth millions and millions of dollars and has like had multiple movies. I don't like his acting style. Oddly, the reason I don't like him is the same reason I like the movie that he's in, Punch Drunk Love. That's a really good movie. It's an Adam Sandler movie, but it's not an Adam Sandler movie. He's not Adam Sandler in that movie. That alone is a selling point. It's a really good movie. You might not like it. It's not a blockbuster movie, but I really enjoyed it. But Adam Sandler in just about everything else, whether he's doing comedy, he's on a comedy show, or he's doing a movie, watching him is he's cringy, and like I feel cringe for him, like, you know what I mean, like I feel awkward watching him. There's another guy that does the same thing to me. Is it Will Ferrell? I can't remember who it is, but same kind of thing. The guy that was in I don't know, that God movie. He's also in The Office, the American version of The Office. He's the boss. I kind of get the same vibe from him when he's playing that character. I know that's completely intentional. That's what they're shooting for. But I get that. I get that splash cringe. Like, I feel embarrassed for him. So my point is that I will try to take that into account. Although nobody said that to me, I'm not saying that's happening. I assume if someone's watching this, it would be happening, because I can be a bit cringy and awkward. So there's that. And everybody's sitting there with their fingers crossed. Come on, you're halfway through. You could just end it. You could end it here, and you've done exactly what you said you would do if you didn't have anything to talk about. Like, just do it. Hit the button. Stop the video. Stop the video. Come on, you can do it. So I said I wanted to pick up pretzels. I don't think I'm going to do it today. I doubt that they're open this early in the morning. think on Monday I'm going to stop by the pretzel factory and pick up a box of pretzels for the building. Usually, there's a tradition at my company that a lot of people keep going. When it's your birthday, you bring in pretzels. Like on the weekends, we used to bring in donuts before COVID hit. Out of our own pocket, whoever was the supervisor that weekend would spring for donuts and possibly a box of Joe. We did not. We haven't done that since the whole Fauci virus landed. So but we still do the box of pretzels thing. Almost everybody's box of pretzels. Some people will bring in donuts, but most people will bring in pretzels for their birthday, like shop guys. Some people go crazy. They go to they either go to, instead of Dunkin' Donuts, they'll go to Krispy Kreme, and some people go even further. They go to this bakery, and I can't remember the name of it, but they make amazing stuff. And when I find out the name, I'll put it in the comments. Which reminds me, there's a couple things I was supposed to put in the comments either yesterday or the day before, and I have to go do that. I'm gonna watch the video and find out what it was I was supposed to put in the comments. But I vividly remember not doing it. I spent the whole rest of my life up until this point not putting it in the comments. I'm doing it right now. I'm sitting here not putting it in the comments. Whatever it was that I was supposed to put in the comments. I did eventually put the name of that cheesesteak place I was talking about. Like I can't say enough how good that cheesesteak was. I just this is from a couple of weeks ago maybe I was talking about it. And Carmelo's, I think it's something Carmelo's. It's in the comments, so you don't even have to watch the videos. Just look for any comments from me in the beginning of the videos, and we're only a couple weeks in, so you've got less than 14 videos to look through to see a comment, so it should be pretty easy. That was 2 words, something Carmelo's. No. I don't think it's Carmelo's. I think it's something else, but it's in the comments, so. You know what? There is a Dunkin' Donuts. I forgot I was taking the back roads. For some reason, when I started my drive, I was very tired, and I wasn't even thinking about the fact that I wasn't taking the highway, that I was taking the back roads, which means I am going to drive right past a Dunkin' Donuts so I can get that coffee. So that's exciting. We have that to look forward to. So instead of me getting coffee at the beginning of the trip, like you guys are used to saying, you're going to see me get coffee at the end of the trip. In fact, not just the end of the trip, the end of the third part of the 3-part Saturday morning special. So, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. We're literally maybe 3 or 4 minutes away from me pulling up to the Dunkin' Donuts and getting coffee. I'm excited. I can hardly contain myself. But to reiterate, so this is an easy scale. Punch Drunk Love is my absolute favorite Adam Sandler movie. Every other one is my least favorite Adam Sandler movie. They're all tied for second. And some of them, it's me. I have a personal bias against him. I think he was in 50 First Dates. That's a good movie, except and he's not bad in it. It just something about the way he's too stylized. I don't know if I'm getting across what I mean by that, but it's just he's a caricature of himself in everything that he does. Wait, I'm so excited. Oh, oh, oh. Lost the angle. Hello? Well, that is unfortunate. It is so early. They're not open either. It looks like it's going to be factory coffee for me. There is a Wawa right here. I don't have to stop on the way in. I can get factory coffee and be fine. If I really need to, there is a Dunkin' Donuts directly across the street from where I work, so I could just head out, grab myself a coffee, and come back. There's just like overwhelming sadness washing over me. Not really. Don't feel sad for me. It's okay. So this was a this was my attempt to try to at least put a not a physical break, but a contextual break in between the three segments of the video. So when I end this one, that'll be the third one. So I'll sign off after this. Tell me what you think, Matt. Again, I know I didn't bring much to the table with this. I said I wasn't even going to try to break it into three segments because I was very, very tired when I started, but now I'm invigorated with the thought of finally getting some coffee after this long ride. So I'll talk to you later. I mean, viewer. If I accidentally said a name that was just a random name, I have no idea who that is. What a mystery. So, anyway, this is where I generally end the videos, so I will end this video. Have a wonderful day.